Hello, welcome to How About No. No. So much going on in the United States of America. Whatever that's supposed to mean. United States of America. Just one question before we start this show. When's it ever been united here? Anybody ever asked themselves that? Like it started divided and it's been divided ever since. So, what's that supposed to mean? Not sure. If it's united, then we would be living in peace over here, and then everybody would be wanting to be like us. Because of how harmonic it is over here, correct? So, that being said, doesn't make any sense to me. We pretend we're like that, but we're not. It's not like that here. And I've been to a lot of places. It's not like that. It's just not like that. It's never been like that since I've been around. How does everybody else feel about that? By the way, it's in the description, but we just talk about the things we know here. We go based on facts. Because the truth is what matters most. And the truth will always set you free. It'll definitely bring you closer to God. Being truthful and honest. Honesty is key. Right? Alright. So, what we're going to do. I do have... Let's close this. Tucker. We're going to do a reaction to Tucker because he just did this thing with... I guess Tucker confronts. I think this is the wrong video. Yeah, click on this. Said something about God's chosen ones. Let's go back real quick. Oh, who are God's chosen people? Now, originally, everybody, I don't know. There's so many different forms of religion. You know? So, everybody has their own belief. So there's another part where no one's united. Especially, and I'm not knocking anybody's religion or their beliefs or their views. I think they've been taken way out of context. Way completely out of context. And they've been turned into a chaotic legion type model that is actually described in Revelations. And I'm not particularly religious at all, okay? I'm just knowledgeable. But, right here, we'll ask AI. This is Google AI, it's free. It's just a basic Google search. We'll just ask, how many religions are there in the United States? In a question. 4,000 distinct religions, denominations, and faith groups practice in the United States today. The American religious landscape is dominated by 5 main faiths, which together account for about 75% of the population. I don't think they really have a real statistical study on the population to begin with, to be honest, because if you come over, how many illegals were detained in the last 10 years? $3 million. Let's go to AI mode. Before dropping significantly in 2025. What? What does that mean? Border apprehensions. These represent individuals caught at or between ports of entry. Numbers peaked in, I don't know what FY is supposed to represent. 2021. Oh, year, or I don't really know what this is supposed to represent. So the numbers peaked during COVID, right after COVID. Also after Epstein's death or suicide or whatever you want to call it, whatever he did, whatever happened to him. I think we can all agree that he was tricking everybody into thinking he was a messiah. I think we can all agree with that. And I think some people were upset. And I think some people were actually following his dumbass. I really do. That's what I believe. That's what it seems like to me. Nobody knows how he did everything he did and how he got to where he was. He must have been a prophet. False messiah. I've seen the interview with him. He was a dumbass. He had a savvy tongue. Knew how to manipulate a conversation, maybe. He actually dictated the conversation interview that I saw him. I only watched like maybe 20 minutes of it. He's a complete moron. Scared to talk about faith. You know why he was scared to talk about faith? Because he's scared of it. That's how you know someone's not a messiah. If they're scared to discuss their actual beliefs, they don't believe. Or they kind of believe, but they don't know the truth. That's the thing. When you know the truth, it's on a whole different level when you talk about religion. But let's get back to it. So this right here says before dropping significantly in 2025. But hasn't that been everybody's narrative last year was, hey, we detained more people than ever. It says right here it dropped roughly to 690 enforcement encounters, the lowest in several years. That doesn't make any sense, does it? How did you detain more, but there's been less? I don't understand that concept. I said how many illegals were detained in the last 10 years. And this is the answers it gave me. This is Google AI. So, self-deportations, recent. And that's about it. I'm just looking stuff up that's coming to my mind to make sure I'm not crazy. Can't be crazy. If I'm crazy, then so is this AI I'm using. And this is Google. I'm just speaking what I'm thinking to look up. It's just a thought process at this point. So, let's I don't really know what's going to be talked about in this video, but it literally, I keep seeing all this chosen one stuff coming up, right? So, and it's all over the place, I guess. I mean, people talking about stuff. So let's see who are God's chosen people. He's been dealing with this. Is this the same guy here? Israel's purging of Christians from the Holy Land and the plot to keep Americans from noticing. How does, just out of curiosity, I don't really want to look this up. Because I already know the truth and I don't want to look it up because nobody's going to like what they see. Let's just put it that way. So, religious bodies, Judaism 2%, Islam 1%, Buddhism, it seems like everybody's just 1%. Religiously unaffiliated. Now this is a big deal. This is a real big deal. Not having a faith. You gotta believe in something. Something, right? If not, then what the hell you doing here? You got to believe in something, work towards something. That's the goal of life, is working towards something together and getting it done in a very timely manner. Like if we worked together, imagine all the shit we could actually accomplish as a species, not a nation, a species. All right. So, according to Pew Research Center's 2023-24 Religions Landscape Study, the breakdown is as follows. 62%, the largest group, further divided into Protestant, I guess. Protestantism. What the fuck is that? There's so many different forms of Christianity. This is the thing. And I feel like a lot of these are backed by Christianity. Who agrees with that? Like, it's just ancient Christianity told different ways. But it's like the two original Old and New Testament. And then everybody's like, well, this is what happened. And then you have the historical data archives from the actual history. I mean, we don't have the Library of Alexandria anymore. I mean, that's gone. It got burned up. That's all we know. That's what we've been told. We've been told a lot of stupid shit. I've always had that gut feeling, though. People always told me I was crazy. Never believed them, though. That's the thing. I never believed them telling me I was wrong when I had those gut feelings. Because that gut feeling, that's part of your soul kicking in. It's telling you, hey, something ain't right. And you ignore it. Or if you have a memory relapse and you think, oh, it's just deja vu. No, it wasn't. It's you. That's you connecting with you. That's what it is. That's you figuring it out. That's your body connecting with everything, letting you know. That's your spidey senses, almost. You know what that's kind of what it is. It's spidey senses. All right. Latter-day Saints, Jehovah's Witnesses. They walk around down the street all the time. The kids are rude. They run across your lawn. I mean, it is what it is, but it's okay. They're just kind of loud. They talk a lot. They make a lot of noise when they're walking down the street. But apparently Tucker's talking about to this guy. And I don't know who Mike Huckabee is. I just heard of him. I have no idea who this guy is. I don't get into politics, but I figured him out real quick. Let's just put it that way. And I figured out it's all wrong. Our government policies and everything that's structured here in the United States is the complete opposite of the Ten Commandments in the Bible. Has no one ever realized that? Like, seriously? It's actually asinine how it's structured. If you go and look at it and compare it. You can compare it to any of those faiths, whichever one you prefer. To anything you believe in, just believe in something. Believe in yourself more than anything, because you know you exist, right? Believe in yourself. That's always been one of the main things back growing up as children. Believe in yourself and you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. It was always drilled in our heads. Well, it was in mine, at least. I don't know how everybody else grew up. I grew up pretty crappy. I'm not going to lie. I had a pretty crappy growing up experience. It sucked. And I'm still struggling. Everybody's struggling. And now we're really struggling, but we're in this together. And I think a lot of us, we're duped. And a lot of us are taking, like, it's really hard for everybody to understand what's actually unfolding for everybody. And with the technology being the way it is, everybody's very untrustful for what they see. That's why when I do stuff like this, I'll react to something. I don't take any money here. I don't care about it. We, I'm not sponsored. I make no money off my channel. I'm here just trying to spread what I believe, I guess, because I feel like belief is just, it's fading very fast here. So, with that being said, and the fact that our nation is taking its time and not, I mean, as far as I know, I don't know, in my area it's not like this, but what I've seen, everybody's being kind of like mellow about it, even though they're irate about it, and I understand to be irate. I'm furious about it. You guys, I'm furious about it. Because I've always known it. Like, I always had that gut feeling. I always questioned a lot of stuff that I experienced in life. And I was always taught in, like, just in my mind to always ask why. Not to question it, but to also just learn. Because without questioning, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Especially if you don't understand. Always ask questions. Get full clarity to yourself, and then, So, let's check out what he's talking about, because I saw the thumbnail. I actually didn't see what the headline said here, and it says Tucker confronts Mike Huckabee on America's toxic relationship with Israel. I have no idea who Mike Huckabee is. I watched Tucker a little bit just for, like, I guess news, because it seems like it's been honest throughout the past couple of years. I was never like a follower of him or anything. Yeah, but I'm gonna watch some of this, see what it's about. Do you guys feel that we have a toxic relationship with Israel? I don't really follow too much of Israel. I never did. To be honest, the only reference I ever heard of them was regarding to the Bible and World War II. To be honest, that's the only time I've ever heard of Israel or anyone from Israel. Do I have anything against? I don't have anything against anyone. I love everyone just as much as I love myself. And I try my hardest to treat people the way I want to be treated back. Even when they distreat me, I still turn the other cheek. And I bite my tongue sometimes. Sometimes. I hate getting physical. I don't want to get physical with anybody. But is this the same guy? It seems like this is the same guy as well. Is he like... is this the same interview? Doesn't look like it. Tucker's wearing something different here. And for anybody that's out here, like I said, I don't choose sides. It's not about left or right. It's about choosing yourself, choosing what's right, choosing truth. The hardest part is accepting it. Everybody's going off information, and information's distorted as hell right now. I feel like I've been trying to just stay off the internet for the last 2-3 days. I just didn't want anything to do with it. It was excruciating to the mind, information overload almost. So I had to back away for a little bit. I couldn't finish the Pam Bondi thing, the Pam Bondi Congress hearing. I couldn't finish it. It was just too chaotic. There was no truth being told. There was no truth being admitted to. There was just deflection, reflection, mirroring, blaming. Yeah, like other people they didn't do their jobs either. Do you want to be like them? That's the real question. If I had a question for Pam Bondi, and that was her excuse, because every time somebody asked her a question, and they were legit viable questions, you know, I thought they were. I don't know. We looked up people that we were watching as we went to see who they were, like what they represent. And I kept it very modest. I don't think, like, I don't know. It was an Epstein hearing, and she never once talked about Epstein. I don't know Epstein. Never met him. I don't know anything about him. I didn't know anything about him until all this shit popped off with him. I didn't even know about the stuff with him regarding what happened to him back in the early 2000s. I didn't even know about that stuff. Never heard of this man in my life. Until recent. Until like, let me think. Maybe a year or two ago, maybe. I wasn't even aware of his unaliving and his incarceration during 2019. I had I didn't hear about any of that. Didn't even know what happened. Did any of us? Did any of you? Because I was unaware of it. I don't, like I said, I don't follow politics. I sure as hell don't follow the market crap like that. I might follow it like that, but I don't use it. I just take a glance. I'm like, what's going on? Like when the computer industry hit, I saw it coming a mile away. Tried warning everybody about it. The RAM pricing going up, everything going up. I tried warning everybody about it. Nobody believed me. And I didn't do it like how I'm online right now because I wasn't doing this then. I was telling my friends, telling people that were like into tech stuff. I was like, dude, the market's getting ready to just explode. You have no idea. AI is not as perfect as they thought it was going to be. They don't know how to really control it, I think. And I think they used AI because they made a lot of... I follow the tech industry. I followed it like crazy because I just... It's interesting to me, you know, just like everybody else. Technology advancing is pretty nice, you know, it's something new. It's nice to have. I mean, it seems like we just been getting a repeat of just bullcrap for the last 20, 30 years, doesn't it? Oh, here's a phone. Oh, here's the next model. Here's the next model. Here's the every year. Here's the next model. How many models do we need? Why are we wasting so much resources on dumb shit like that? For money? How much money do you need? As you can see, all these elite people are apparently not happy because they basically got all the money in the world. Backed by broken promises. Supposed to be backed by minerals and stuff. But it's not. It hasn't been since what, 76? The 70s? Since we dropped the gold standard, and I think that had to do with Nixon. I'm had to dive into that and check it. Don't know. I wasn't born yet. I wasn't here for it. I wasn't even a thought. I might have been. You never know. I might have been. Yep. Anyways, let's check out these videos. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy. This one's from 18 hours. This one, wait, Tucker is wearing that. So these are the same videos. So which one should we watch? Israel's purging of Christians from the Holy Land and the plot to keep Americans from noticing. Do you guys really think that's going on? Are we allowed to talk about this stuff? I'm not against anybody. Like I said, I'm not anti whatever you guys want to call it. You guys like to label everything. All it does is cause ununification to everybody. It's like, yeah, let's just have something to nitpick at. Stupid. The only thing that actually kind of sets us apart from one another now is literally just a few things. Like maybe your skin tone. Who cares? If you do care, that's something you need to work with. Stop being judgmental towards other people. Judge yourself. Don't judge anyone unless you can judge yourself. If you can't judge yourself, don't judge anyone else. If you can't admit to the shit you do to yourself and everybody else, you don't gotta admit it to anyone else. Admit it to yourself. And be like, yeah, I was a shit person. Or I went through shit things. Or if I put myself in a predicament, which a lot of people complain about, if I put myself in a predicament and then I complain about myself being put there because I chose to go there, and then whine and cry about it, but you're the one that has to go there. You chose to go there. In any contextual way. Anyway. A lot of people blame other people for the choices that they do themselves, and it's just idiotic. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. Everybody does it. Majority of everybody does this shit. Anyways, let's jump into this. Are we? Now, I'm not judgmental. I am in my mind, though. I really am in my mind. But I bite my tongue. But when I do judge, I am very honest and blunt. I am the most blunt person you'll probably ever meet in your life. But I'm always fair. I always keep it truthful. I don't twist the truth. I tell it exactly like it is. And I process it like that. You want to switch and deflect? We can jump on 6 different topics and talk about it. But truth will always be the end of the conversation. There ain't going to be, oh, but what about? No. We'll disprove what I said. And that's the problem. Everybody's using this Google crap. This AI module system. Everybody's using this to get advice. And it's not very viable. I'll tell you that. It's not reliable. It's not. It's constantly updated. A person just like you, just like I, is behind the scenes controlling how this thing operates, okay? It's not magic. It's someone actually programming it, telling it what it can and can't access to and all that crap, okay? It's not psychic or anything like that. And yes, it updates all the time. If you got an update on your phone, guess what? It's this module here updating. You get a security update on your system or your PC or whatever you're using. It's this getting upgraded. That algorithm for all this crap. And this isn't, what is it, backed up off the cloud? It's not like what you guys think. It's not satellites floating around in the air. It's data center systems all over the whole world. And majority ain't here in the United States. I promise you that. But anywho, let's jump over here. So it was at this point that I just called. I called this from Standard American chip brands. The only thing I know regarding Tucker and Mike Huckabee's relationship is he mentions that they know each other. They've known each other for over a decade. I don't know how significant that is. I've actually knew someone for 20 years. And we got together and started dating, and within 3 months, they showed me who they really were. Totally blew my mind away. So, I feel unless you're like genuinely around someone to the point where they can't wear a mask, no matter what's going on, you don't really know them. Because people wear masks so bad. And what is a mask? A mask is what you put on when you go to work. A mask is what you put on when your kid don't start crying and you want to discipline it, but you don't because you love it and you don't want to hurt it. That's what a mask is. You suppress that mask, suppress that emotion, suppress that feeling, and harness energy from it. If you can control that, it gives you full control over your physical element. It's that simple. And then you have more self-control. Sometimes, a lot of times, and I'm not saying it's not wrong to express yourself, but you should do it in your own temple. Away from someone coming and saving you. Right? Away from the attention. I'm not saying it's wrong to express yourself and get guidance from someone. That's not what I'm saying at all either. But if there's something that's bothering you, that you know that it's about you, no one else is going to help you get through it besides you. It's that simple. You just need to admit to yourself what the truth is. You know the truth. That's why it's bothering you so much. Let it out. And then it won't bother you no more. No one needs, but the thing is, no one else needs to hear it. Just you. Just you. In your own solitude. You shouldn't gather in a place of worship. You should gather in a place of teaching, not worship. Teaching, yes. Worship, no. Sorry. It's not a place where it should be glorified. Or profitable. Belief should not be part of a network of money, period, or currency or anything. Should be free, accessible 100% to the public, any form of it. That's the right of being alive, right? The blessing is that you're here. You get to experience subconsciousness. And find a purpose, work together to get to that goal and purpose. Forget the time. If you're all working to the same goal, then you just get there. And then you'll see stuff go up that you can't explain, like the pyramids. I guarantee it. Why do you think stuff like that exists? And you can't explain it now. Well, we're smarter. We're smarter than they used to be. I'm sorry. We're smarter than they used to be. Really? No one even has common sense anymore, let alone a high moral sense. I did this statistical study that I don't believe in statistics either, but I kind of go off of them. If you do backgrounds on what statistics actually are, like they're usually from Harvard and all the places that are literally in these files as well. So, they're manipulated statistics. But without a file being in play, if you actually do a background and see like a statistic that you are actually looking up and go and check to see how many participants there were, how many people were involved, race and all that crap doesn't really matter. Should it? I don't think so. Sex, should it matter? Maybe depending on the topic. If it's something that regards something that, I don't know, it depends on the topic. But everything else, no. It should just be this many people participated and it was this or this. Right? Just like when they have these hearings, and it's even written in man's own written Bible. Jesus said it. Yes is yes, no is no. Just like we tell children, no, do as I say, not as I do. But let's jump into this. It's really not funny, but like I'm mentally prepared for everything that's about to unfold, and I know the people around me aren't, and I try to talk to them about it, and it causes arguments. What do? It's out in the open. It's written in Scripture. It's written in the Old Testament. We're literally living in the Old Testament right now. Do you guys not realize that? That's why they're so desperate to get this Zionist Christianity crap pushed, because the Old Testament has unfolded. Just think with your mind and put it all together, and you'll find the truth. What's anti-Semite? Don't even. Let's see what it says. What is a anti-Semite? Is that how you spell it? Semite. An anti-Semite, also spelled anti-Semite. I mean, anti-Semite. It's a weird word. Is a person who holds hostile prejudice or discriminatory attitudes towards Jewish people. Hostility and prejudice. It is designed as a certain perception of Jews. They may be expressed as hatred. So, where does this law exist? This isn't God's law. So, I go based off God's laws. Sorry. And I'm not talking about the ones you guys read, because some of them are accurate, but some of them, I mean, if you want to go based off that, if you want to go based off of any 10 Commandments written in any form of Christianity, the United States structure completely contradicts it. So, make that make sense. It's the complete opposite. Why? What are they trying to unlock? Anyways, manifestations. It can change from subtle stereotypes to violent physical aggression, destruction of property, and systematic discrimination. When was this terminology created? Religious, Judaism. Originally rooted in religious differences, such as the early Christian teaching of contempt, or the refusal of Jews to worship Roman emperors. So, is it something that they have something to do with Romans? Who's Roman right now? It brings up Roman Reigns from wrestling. It's not given. You gotta know how to talk to AI, or it'll just talk to you stupid, because it's stupid. I crash AI all the time. They can't handle the way I talk to it. I just crash it out completely. It just freezes up. They can't handle the questions I have for it. And it doesn't matter what form I've used. I've used them all. They crash out. They can't keep up with my thought process. Ancient Roman citizens of the Roman Empire, Republic, Roman the Great. Roman Reigns, he's not. He's Samoan, isn't he? Samoans are like, they're not Roman. Ancient citizens, who are they now? Who are they now? Today, the ancient Romans are primarily modern Italians. But their legacy and genetics are spread across Europe and the Mediterranean. Because Roman was a legal citizenship rather than a single ethnicity, their descendants fall into 3 categories. So it's the modern Italians. These are the only people and I'm not saying them because this is old. This is over 2,000 years ago, people, okay? Because the Bible is that old. It's 2,000 years. 2,000 to 3,000 years it started getting written. And a lot of it's way been, I mean, you're not reading the original at all. Not even close. The original, are you serious? You're reading the Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, and that's exactly what it is. It's a book about death and how to die, and then recycle it. Whatever that means. Recycle into what? That's what, well, it depends on what your faith is. Actually, it depends on what your faith is. Because they all have different endings. But they all basically start the same way. You can put them all side by side and compare them. You're like, okay, this matches this. And they even match Egyptian religion. It's almost like the Egyptians didn't know what they were doing either. Anybody else feel the same? Because if that's where we got it from, and if we got it off some ancient culture that's now called mythology, and it's the backbone off of that, because you can't sit here and tell us that mythology didn't exist. We know it does. It's called the past, before the Bible. It's common sense. Why it was called mythology is beyond any of us. I mean, other countries talk about it. It's called myth over here. It's turned into entertainment. That's our ancestors. You guys know that? I don't think they were to that concept. It was taken very way out of concept. But those are our ancestors. You just don't remember it. That's why they're like, oh, humans suffer from amnesia. Okay, so basically it's just the modern Italians. What is an anti-Semite? Racial emerged in the 19th century. False theory. Based on the false theory that Jews are a biological, separate, and inferior race. This ideology was the foundation of the Holocaust. Inferior race to who? To the ancients? The ancients were like how ancient do you want to go back? That's the thing. Because I'll tell you what, you see this? Grand Canyon. You see this? This is how you figure out how many resets we've had since we started doing this whole reset shit. That's why the Grand Canyon exists. The Grand Canyon's in the Bible. Nobody knows that? Well, it's in the original. It's in one of them. They talk about it. Or maybe it was written in history. It's written, though. It's written in that time. And the scientists' theory right now of why it exists is wrong. They have no idea. It's hypothesis. It's a theory. Majority of everything that's scientific right now is theoretical. It is. Majority of it. But this is how you'll figure it out. Look at it. There it is. Shit's funny. Anyways, do the Italians have problems with Israel and the Jews? I don't think I've ever met any Jews here where I live. If I have, I mean, I don't have a problem with anybody. I get along with everyone. Everyone usually gets along with me. There's no confrontational things going on, you know. The thing is how do you identify a Jew if you don't and be this way? Like, how can you be this way if you don't know what it... It's different when you're like, oh, you're racist against, like, say, a colored person, someone who's different color than you, and that makes sense because they're different color. And Jewish people are white. So, are you... I just don't understand how you can... what this means. Ideology is foundation of... This ideology was the foundation of the Holocaust. Are a biologically separate and inferior race, this ideology was the foundation of the Holocaust. Conspiratorial. Often involves myths about secret Jewish power, such as the false belief that Jews control global finances, media, or government. Political new anti-Semitism. Contemporary forms can include the demonetization or delegitimization of the state of Israel when used to target Jewish people collectively. What's this? Oh, here makes no sense. This doesn't make any sense. Whoever wrote this is an idiot. I guarantee you AI wrote this. This doesn't even make any sense. What does Jewish people have to do with Israel? Is there no Jewish people in the United States? I'm pretty sure there's Jewish people in the United States. What does Israel have to do with the Jewish people that live in the United States? Yes, there's a significant Jewish population. There's almost 8 million people that are Jewish living in the United States. There's no way. there's that many people. They might identify as a Jewish person, but there's no way that kind of race can multiply that quickly. Especially regarding what the Holocaust is. The math would never add up. Unless somebody was doing some intense, serious getting it on, you know what I mean? And judging off their faith, that's not a thing they do. So, make that make sense. I don't know how that would make sense. Roughly 2% of the total population identify as Jewish. Yeah, see, they identify as Jewish. So, here in the United States, we have a thing called freedom. And you're allowed to have the freedom of your belief. So, with that being said, the thing is the belief systems. What is Jewish? What do they believe? Conspiratorial often involves myths about secret Jewish powers, such as the false belief that Jews control global finances, media, or government. I think somebody does. I really, truly do. I don't know who. I think it's a group of people, not just if there's Jewish people involved with the group, then I guess there is now, isn't there? Doesn't matter what race you are at that point. If you're involved, you're involved. I don't give a damn if you're God. If you're involved in doing some sick, twisted shit like this, God wouldn't do that. This is like the shit that we are hearing about is ritualistic shit. Ancient shit that it's not supposed to happen anymore. It hasn't in a long time. And it shouldn't be happening. It's satanic. Sacrifices? That was called desperation because all the ancients lost contact with the gods. The gods no longer spoke to them. That's what that was. And nobody knew why. They forgot how to talk to the gods. Sucks to be them. The thing is God only speaks truth. So the minute you think you're getting manipulated by somebody that's claiming that they're in touch with the Holy Spirit or whatever the case may be, whatever they want to claim, or they've been touched, Holy Spirit, I don't know what everybody calls it. I hear Holy Spirit a lot, so I'm just going to go with the Holy Spirit. If anybody's claiming that, and you feel like it's a manipulative tactic, it's not holy. I'll tell you that. It's dark as hell. There's dark spirits out there. It's the ones in the back of your head that tell you to do stupid shit. And then you have the self-control to grab onto the light and be like, no, I choose not to do that. It's that simple. Man, it gets me worked up. I don't like getting worked up. I hear hee. And there's things too. Like, in order to hear God, there's requirements. And it's not what everybody thinks it is. It's not going to a church and listening to other people talk about it. It's everybody needs to be taught differently, it seems. At least in the United States, because I watch other countries and they've been doing the same thing for a very long time. Does anyone understand how old China is? Or the Soviet Union or Russia or Europe? Has anybody ever thought about that? those countries and their beliefs? Does anybody follow their beliefs here? I don't know. There's so many beliefs here in the United States. I mean, pick one. Everyone needs to come together and pick one. That's the thing. And guess what? I think everybody's done living in the past. I think we've had enough of that shit. And the resets and the living in the past. It doesn't need to happen anymore. For we have the answers now. But let's check out what Carlton it's not unusual to me. Anyways, I try to keep good faith. I really do. And I do take in consideration of, I've said this before, the people that do desperate things. Because everybody, I guess, is seeking answers. You know? What's the answer to life? It's the key to the unity. Drink from the chalice. You guys ever seen that? King Arthur? Why is he myth? Ask yourself that. He came after Noah. Why wasn't he added? Huh? Why wasn't he? Was he related to Noah? I have no idea. You would have to look at the data archives that nobody will show anybody. Where they're at? Do they exist? I don't know. So much darkness plaguing the earth. It's so foggy. Plaguing the heavens. Everybody messed heaven up, didn't they? Everybody turned it into hell. How do we fix it? Well, let me tell you something. Let's listen to what Tucker Carlson's going to tell us. Tucker, I'm not trying to, if you demonetize this, whatever, I'm not trying to use you to get clicks or any of that crap. I'm just using you as a viable source for trying to get clarity for other people to see. And maybe I give my biased, very neutral opinion and using advanced moral reasoning to actually figure out what the hell's going on. And maybe give an opinion. Or maybe give the honest, brutal truth. Or maybe just ask questions as to what's going on. And why everybody's lying about it. Because everybody is lying about it. Really bad. And it doesn't... Like, what are you scared? God already knows. Let's just put it that way. Everyone who's lying, God knows. Okay? He knows. I know a lot of answers to a lot of questions. I mean, it's just common sense. Use it. But I know some stuff that goes past the common sense. Let's just put it that way.
Right now. And they're holding his passport. The interrogator is holding the passport in his hand as he's asking these questions. So he's telling me this, and I said, this is the outrageous thing I've ever heard.
What are we talking about, Tucker? like, this is a 20-minute introduction, even though mine was just, I mean, we were talking about important things, right? He's just kind of like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about, Tucker?
And one last thing. The Israelis apparently went, with the help of Mike Huckabee, went to the surveillance tape inside the diplomatic terminal and pulled some clip.
Just so everybody knows, I mean, like I said, I don't know nothing really about Israel, and if you look it up, all it is they're part of a war right now. They're always part of a war, it seems like. What happened to them in the Bible wasn't very cool. I mean, that's their history, right? Why does everybody's faith go off of the Jews' history? Isn't that what the Bible is? It's the Jews' past, their history, the Jewish people's history. So why is everybody's faith based off of that? Are we all Jewish? We all Jewish. No, I'm just kidding. It just seems like, I don't know. If Jesus was a Jewish man and he was doing it for the Jews, why was he? To save his people. From who? The Roman? Like, we don't have that anymore. Why does it seem like people are trying to do the Bible, like, in real time? Because it seems like that's what World War II was, doesn't it? People trying to act out the Old Testament. It just seemed like it happened again. But I think it happened into a different way. Because in World War II, the person that was dictating shit at the time, at least he had the balls to actually just do it and tell everybody, this is what I'm doing. He didn't hide behind the scenes practicing dark magic and doing rituals. At least I don't know. It seems like that's what Epstein was doing. Who he was doing it for, I don't know. But am I saying he's connected to to Israel? I don't know. Nobody's confirmed that, have they? But it seems like he was, I don't know. It's starting to seem like he was like type of a false messiah, like going around guiding people in the wrong way. Lying to people because everybody is acting like they were brainwashed. Every time someone gets interviewed, they act like they were brainwashed by Epstein. I wish I had never met that man. I mean, Bill Gates. All these smart as the world people got tricked by Epstein. All the people running our country got tricked by Epstein. Do you guys not realize that? What does that say? That shows you the incompetence of our leaders. If they're gullible enough to be tricked in that aspect, what the hell? What's going on? Anyways, it just shows how dumb they are. It really, truly does. It shows how stupid our government and our structure and our everything. If one man is capable of doing all that, especially with his background, being charged in what was it, 2008? I think he got detained, and then 2009 he was actually sentenced for barely any time. He got 15 days for each person that was on his victim list for that charge. He got 15 days for each victim. Keep that in mind. I think there was like 26 victims, and he only did like 11 months or something. Had weekends off, had all the, he had luxuries. He got to keep going to work and making money. Or he only had to serve weekends. And only did 11 months. So do the math on that. Whatever, yeah. 44 days. He did 44 days. 44 days. 2, 4, 6, 8. He did 88 days. And it look. So he did between 66 and 88 days. Okay? 66 and 88 days he did. In 2008. So he didn't even do 3 months. There's people sitting in jail that have been in jail longer than 3 months just because they can't afford a bond. They ain't sentenced nothing. Hundreds of thousands of people in county jail sitting in jail just because they don't have bond that literally sit there and rot. America's like a prison country. Like, we have more people incarcerated here than anywhere on the planet combined. We do. And majority of them aren't sentenced. They're just basically detained. Illegally detained. Sitting in jail, can't afford a bond because everyone's broke. Because we all live off of the physical form of air, apparently. Stupid. The structure is so stupid. It makes zero sense. It gets you nowhere. It's the way it's structured is it gets you to nowhere in life. It's a digressing system. The entire system in its full. It's digressing. And we're supposed to be the leaders. We're not. No. You can do it way differently. And it wouldn't be that hard to do. It really wouldn't.
People seem to be more inflamed, not just emotionally, but physically, and more tired than ever. And food is part of the reason. Bad food.
Everybody has to get on the same program, though, and that's the problem. And people are going to have to know the truth. And then people are going to have to accept the truth. Or I guess they can just live out the rest of their lives living in the past. That's written in the Bible too. Don't look back. They look back. A lot of people look back, didn't they? And they perished. They didn't get to keep going. Has anybody ever asked themselves or asked like at a church when they go to service or whatever they attain or attend? Does anybody ever ask them, like, why did Noah and them live so long? I think Noah lived almost 900 years. 900 years of age, Noah was. Almost 1,000 years old. That's a long time to be alive, isn't it? And his family, if you go look at the timeline, it starts falling off track. It does. I think we should stop focusing on who's the more superior race on this planet and get out there and prove that we're the best galaxy. Like, that's just my opinion. Show how strong we are, how capable. Not for domination, not in that aspect. Just show how strong we are as a species. Because we technically are a unified species already. We're all human, right? Unless there's someone else around that's not human. And then, if that's the case, what's going on? Anyways.
I was, I don't like all the name calling. I hate some of it. But in general, I don't think people should be going.
I just feel like nobody thinks anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just feel like people just don't use their brains anymore. For like good things. I say neutral. I embrace both. You know, I can process both sides like and make a decision, usually.
Of course, and I'm only
There's a few times I have to contemplate on it, but I usually never want to cause havoc.
back soon, and I hope that I can come back soon because I actually like, despite what you may hear, I actually like the country. I've been here a lot.
There are a lot of twisted people out here, and I've called them out of whatever you classify as terms, but
Get a better sense of it. So I want to talk to.
the thing is God told man to label. Never mind. It's just
Preparation for this has said this
Genesis in itself is just.
Jonathan Pollard. Yeah. I'm just going to throw the name to you and have you explain. No, I'm glad you asked. You know, of course, interestingly, there's been a lot of things about it. You're the first person who has asked.
I'll talk to anybody about the Bible, even Wes Huff.
Yeah, the very first. Good. Well, it's better.
Anybody.
Hear it. Sure.
Andrew. Anybody. And if you can disprove what I think about it, I would love to see it. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. Because I've been told the truth about it. And I don't follow it. But I know it. I know the truth of it. Let me know if you guys know the truth of it. And if you've accepted the truth of it. Because I have. Fully. This guy, I don't know. His voice sounds familiar. He sounds like Senator Ted Cruz, doesn't he? Is he just another Ted Cruz? I feel like we're watching the Ted Cruz interview. This is deja vu. We literally just watched this guy. Well, it's not him, but sounds like him. Similar voice. Similar manipulative tone. Like he's trying to. I'm not saying nothing about them, but why are you starting off just hyping somebody up so quickly? Like that just shows that you're gonna start off lying. Like how did Tucker start the conversation? Let me see real quick before I start making any judgments. So Tucker is, I think, in Israel for this interview. I think this is the interview he showed up for, and he was detained. And I know Tucker's been called that anti-Semite name. What's that? I treat everybody equally, so truth hurts. I can get dark with the truth. That's about it. Brutally, truthfully honest. I just don't like lying to people. It's not in my nature. It's not in my character. I don't think about being manipulative. I don't think about all that crap. I mean, it might come through my mind, but I know how to have self-control and be like, no, that's wrong. Shouldn't do that. And you can't convince me to be obsessed with, like, I don't become obsessed with physical objects. I take care of my stuff. I take care of everything I see. What does this have to do with... What are we talking about? Did Huckabee meet with American trader Jonathan? Why can't we just get a yes or no? Why is it always got to be a story? Did you or not? Yes or no. If it's a no, guess what? Next question. Did you lie? You better not have lied. You sure you're not lying? If it's a yes, then you ask why. That's the thing. And that's what I noticed from... I've been noticing this for a very long time, especially with the government, especially when they have hearings and crap. When you ask somebody a question, it's usually a direct answer that's involved. Not, oh, I ask a question so you get the where, why, when, how, and who. All in one answer. I didn't ask all that. You know? And that's what it seems like every time someone asks a damn question. Instead of just making grounds and saying yes or no. It's yes or fucking no. There's not, I don't need a story unless I ask for the story. Correct? Like, what is going on? Like, how are we strong and no one has a backbone here? Like, I don't understand it. And then you got people, especially on YouTube, all they want to do is make money off of the problems. And then they got money, and they're not doing anything with the money to actually fix any of the problems. Besides, I don't know. People don't care. It's stupid to me. It upsets me. It upsets me so. I think he is a little, woohoo. He's an actor. Trump has always been a savvy actor. That's all he is. He's an actor. Wears a mask, just like every other human does. At least in the United States. Everybody wears masks over here, like... That's why you can't love thy neighbor. You don't know who anyone is. Legions running around. Everywhere you go, it's Legion. It's stupid. Okay. Who cares if it was a secret meeting? It's not secret anymore now, is it? We're asking you currently. Everybody wants to jump to the past. Deal with the present, get to the future. This guy's American? Why is he... Why are they talking about Israel? Like I said, shout out to Tucker. I'm not using this for views or any of that crap. I'm not monetized or anything. Like I said, this is a non-profit channel, basically, at this point. I'm just trying to get messages out. I don't care about any of that crap. I'm not giving you no links for any. No, I mean, I don't care about that. There's more important shit going on than stupid fucking money. Money don't mean anything. Never did. It turned living into earning money. That should not be the goal of life. Sorry. Of living, period. I almost feel like we're like at a point. Like how is this gonna end? Because nobody's gonna do anything about it. If they do, it'll be so chaotic and violent. Everybody's been following false idols and false messiahs and false worshiping shit. Like nobody believes in themselves, it seems like. I don't know. I see a lot of good people. I see a lot of happiness. I see a lot of other things too, though. I've experienced it a lot. I've lived it. It sucks. It's life. But I feel like we waste so much time arguing over stupid shit. Especially something like money. Or creating resources just to, what? Make more money? Are we doing anything? We can clearly say we ain't been to the... If we ever... you tell me. If we ever been in space. It ain't happened since before I was born. So, apparently, we're getting stupider. Or at least, everyone I know is. Because I don't feel that way. I don't know.
Brooklyn betting can help. Here at TCN, we take sleep time seriously, try to get 8 hours.
And I don't know about Tucker either, like, because this is his job. Like, he don't live here. He said he bought U.S. Treasury notes. So he basically bought a portion of the land here. He cares about the country, doesn't care about the people, it seems like. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody keeps saying someone needs to stand up and do all this, that, and that, and this. There's no way to actually do that here in America. Does anybody realize that? Nobody, like, has an actual voice. Unless you walk your happy ass. Where are you going to walk to? And it literally seems like everybody's blind. And they're just like, whatever. It's fake. It's really not fake. Everything that you guys are hearing, it's not fake. Some of it's misconstrued, just like everything gets misconstrued. But guess what? The people who are supposed to give you the truth are the ones misconstruing it. And then they're altering it. Because our algorithm systems are changing constantly. Like, I get an update. I got 3 algorithm upgrades in one day. One day I opened up my YouTube and I didn't have any algorithm. It was just blank. And then all this chosen one shit started popping up. And now I see people making money off this chosen one crap. I don't know. It's tiring. It's madness, I tell you.
I wonder why the administration you work for would be holding millions of files, which I believe belong to the government, hidden for quote national security reasons. Well, those national security reasons. Honestly, I think you've probably got more access to the White House sometimes than I do.
I'll tell you what those national security reasons will be.
You should ask them. Well, but you're the government official representing that White House in Israel. And I represent the U.S. in Israel to the Israeli government from the U.S. government. Honestly, nobody has presented that to us. Well, I think a pretty dynamic situation here. I don't know if you know that or not, but there's a lot going on in this part of the world, and frankly, that has not been top line item. But you're surprised to hear that the current president of Israel, whom you know, is listed as a visitor to Pedo Island. Had never heard that. Never heard it even in the Israeli press.
Wow. Really? Jeffrey Epstein's Jewish. Isn't he?
But you're surprised to hear that the
Isn't he Jewish? He said he was Jewish.
is a visitor to Pedo Island.
In his interview, Jeffrey Epstein said he was a Jewish Christian. That's why he said he would never commit suicide, because it's against his faith with God.
Never heard it even in the Israeli press. Are you going to ask him next time you see him? I'll be happy to talk to him.
This is funny. Who else? Does Israel think that Epstein's the Messiah? Do they?
Almost every week. I guess what I'm asking is not simply as a
Why do I feel like
or a high U.S. official.
why do I feel like we're trying to hide from certain people that Epstein,
Were you on Pedo Island with Jeffrey?
not just his files, but we're actually trying to hide that.
A lot of things that go on in the world. I don't question every single person about every single thing that may be alleged in the country. I understand all that, but this is the first I've ever heard of this. So why do you expect me to have knowledge of something like that? Because you attacked me personally for suggesting that Jeffrey
He's not a Messiah. He's a drug addict.
very clear to us what you think he does. Where do you get that? Well, the fact that he was in
He's a loser. Epstein was and always will be a loser. And he wasn't very intelligent. He really wasn't. I watched his interview. That dude was a complete idiot. And the fact that that's what makes it so funny. He is so dumb.
everybody knows Jeffrey Epstein was never things. It turns out everyone was right that he did. I'm not sure everyone was right or everyone thinks. Okay, but you said that I was lying, and I don't want to make this about me. I said you were lying. Tucker.
Little fun fact, Jeffrey Epstein worked very closely side by side with every single major bank and was affiliated with them during 9/11. That's a fact. I have proof of it. I mean, you can go look it up. It's on Google. JP Morgan and all those banks. all their financial records were in the towers. So were the original blacked out, what is it? The negatives of the JFK files for the FBI. All the original FBI files prior to going digital were in the 9/11 towers. So all of our past history, all the evidence, were in those towers. It's gone. The whole branch of the CIA was in that tower. Does the CIA actually even exist anymore? It seems like it's like, where are they? Don't hear them or see them or anything like that anymore. Where are they? Because their main headquarters, it seems like, with their financial records, was part of the Twin World Trade Center. Just saying. See, we're just saying. How does he not know there's any evidence? Has he had access to these files? Why doesn't Tucker know how to talk to people right? How do you know there's no evidence? Why? Because AI told you there was no evidence? Because when I did a thorough search, AI told me it all led to specific people, and it was a really corrupt thing, systematic thing that like literally was involved with like 9 separate countries. Basically all of NATO is involved. It's NATO. And everybody's like, oh, Russia this and that this. It's basically majority of the NATO nations. It's also the people majority of the people that are listed and filed in the e-files, they're also the same people that are in the leaked IRS documents that Trump's currently suing everybody for, what, $10 billion? It's the same people. And guess what? The algorithm system, same people that fund the algorithm system are the same people in these files. Are the same people that leaked the IRS documents of everyone's reports. And guess who the crazy number is? It's prophetic. They created their own prophecies and played God. That's what they did. I feel like that's what they did.
Not just Israeli intelligence, American intelligence, which is much more distressing for me. I'm not Israeli, I'm American. I don't want my government.
Everybody's in that leak too. Elon, like all of them are gonna come after us. And you know what? Fuck them. I'm not paying them shit. And if you're smart, you would stop using their stupid ass currency. For real. Because the IRS is you. It's your money. So anybody who's born now into the future is going to owe the government money. You just became a slave, and everything that you produce from now on is going to be a slave. Owned by the state. Legally. Because you're born into debt now. You're not born into sin anymore. You're born into debt. No, I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. I really don't think so.
He's on the United States, as far as I'm concerned, just to be totally clear about that. Everyone's very sensitive about the Israel connection.
Why do you think the 30 erasures happening? What do you think that is? It ain't gonna be a reset. It's gonna be a system reset because we're done with this stupid shit. It's time to move on. It's time to succeed in life instead of just resetting it. We're done with that shit, right? Yes. Yes, yes. And you know what? There's really no need to do it violently. Well, there may be judgment involved that requires heinous viewingship, but there won't be any violence by God in that nature unless he judges all as whole. That's how I feel. I don't know. And it won't be the whole country. It'll be the whole people that know about it that are involved with it. You made everybody over here live in hell. There won't be no more heavens. Heaven will be a figment of everyone's imagination, just like it already is. Why don't you go ask your church why it is? Whoever you go. Nothing against your church, nothing against your faith. But go ask them real questions. Seriously, go ask the people who teach you the faith of your beliefs. Real hard, honest questions. Debate them. Question them. And if they tell you, oh, you do not question God, that's not God's writing. That's man's writing. And they're only telling you what they've read based off what man's written in that whatever you're reading. I'll tell you this. I don't think God would teach his children death. Sorry. Or is it everyone's trying to get back into the garden? Is that what it is? Everybody wants to get back in the garden. That's going to take some huge changing now, isn't it? Oh. Nobody even knows where the garden is. It's not in Christland. You can go and visit for a little bit. Let me tell you something. You have no idea.
Everyone's assigning a motive, but there's a way to end these conversations very quickly with facts. And I'm highly confused by. Have you brought this up to the president? No, I don't work for him. I've said this many times. You don't work for him. You go to the White House. You see people there.
I get talked to, but he keeps it mellow with me. We actually had an argument. I don't know. It's just the way I'm built. I've never met nobody like me. I've been I've been everywhere. I just don't fit in with anyone. I do. I get along with everyone. I just never met nobody like me. And I've never been duped by this bullshit ever.
And I don't want to argue or talk in circles, but you were the one who brought it up and said it's absolutely not true. I was only responding to what I've heard you say. Okay, but now you know there's evidence.
It's just insane.
You're not pushing for the points of the total corpus of evidence, and I'm confused because I want
Man.
your goal is to get to the truth, and the fastest way to do that is by releasing the evidence. Do you suggest that I can release the evidence? I'm suggesting you could call for it right now. Well, fine, call for it. Let's have it all open. I thought it was being all opened up for everything. Once it's open, I hope you'll read it because it's interesting, and then it puts to rest a lot of the debate and things that are calling, because we can say here it is right there. We don't have to call people names. We can just assess the documents.
I don't understand why Pam Bondi isn't doing it. The case got reopened as soon as she joined. We had special team members like, what's that idiot's name? He's not an idiot. He's a liar. That's what he is. Bongino. The Podfather, Mr. I want to be a Podfather? What the hell does that even mean? No. You're just a liar, dude. You're a straight liar. And if you want to try to sue me, we can file for motion of discovery, and that'll give us access to the whole damn file. Because that's my grounding point, that you lied about it. You said you read the whole entire file. You said, I seen it all. Believe me. I know. I'm an expert. No, you and Mr. Patel look like you were scared shitless. Like you're awaiting on trial to be judged by God and be stricken down. He did strike. It was accepted. There won't be no splitting of the earth this time. It ain't happening. Everybody's going to have to get it with the program. It's that simple. The erasure has happened in the way that they didn't think. Nope. We're deleting the system. Sorry. It's stupid. I don't like it. Doesn't make any sense. I can prove to you it doesn't make any sense. Has to all be redone because it's all built on lies. Because you guys... Everybody's lost and they need God's help. You can't play with Christ.
But the first step is the Israeli government saying, yes, we will allow you to extradite.
I mean, it can. That ain't going to get you anywhere.
That's why the person's here. That's why he fled here.
Besides in trouble.
I want to get what's in the thing. As I said at the outset, it's awful that I regret that my wife barked at me about. I lashed out at Christian Science. And I just want to say again that I'm sorry. I've always liked them because they're real life and they're also really nice people. So, for the third time, I'm sorry that I said that. I think part of my problem was I don't understand the theology.
Of what? What's he talking about?
I said something awful that I regret that my wife barked at me. At the outset, I said something awful that I regret that my wife barked at me about. I lashed out at Christian Zionists and evangelicals, and I just want to say again that
Why does Tucker sound like he's losing his voice?
I want to get to the thing. As I said at the outset, I said something awful.
Why does he sound scared? Is he...
Lashed out at Christian Zionists and evangelicals, and I just want to say again.
What's evangelicals? What is that? Evangelicals? What the hell is that? What the hell is an evangelical? Like, why do we have so much shit like this? Like... Another religion. To follow Jesus? Jesus isn't around. How are you going to follow someone who's dead? He was a physical person and he died. Like, you guys found his holy shroud. That means he's gone. He already existed. You're reading his story. Why, like, I don't get why everybody thinks that's supposed to happen again. It wasn't supposed to happen again. That's why the New Testament got made. To tell what happened because of the Old Testament. Yeah, we did this in the Old Testament. Jesus got fucked up. In the New Testament, got struck by God, and the land split open. For he was not worthy. And then they turned it into, well, he died for everyone's sins. The end. That was supposed to be the end. Why keep trying to recreate it? What are we doing? What are we doing? Because that's what it seems like we're doing. I don't know. I've never heard of this evangelical and Christian Zionism? I don't even know how to spell this. Christian Zionism. Christian Zionism is a religious and political movement among Christians who believe the return of the Jewish people to the Holy Land and the establishment of the modern state of Israel are fulfillments in biblical prophecy. When was this created? Largest such organization in the U.S. I'll tell you this right now. I don't know a single person who says they're a Christian Zionist. I don't know any of them. This to me is new. I've never heard of Christian Zionism until like last year. Everyone I know follows the New Testament, or they follow the King James version of the New Testament. Because the New Testament is basically what actually happened from the Old Testament. And this is what's really fucked up. Back when Hitler was running the show, it was basically, well, or not Hitler, whoever was running things at the time. Yeah, Mike Huckabee. Whoever was running the show at the time, if you were against the Old Testament, then I guess you were anti-Jew, right? So, but do we not use the Old Testament no more? And let me ask you this. If we aren't using the Old Testament, then why are they still trying to practice the rituals in the Old Testament to summon God onto earth? What do they need to speak to God about? What do they need to know? I'm confused. Because it doesn't seem like any other country's doing this, like trying to summon their gods. Does it? Doesn't make any sense. Every other country, it works. Go summon yours. Let's get them together. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe I'm not. Who knows? Who knows? I have a lot of humor in me. Let's see. Blessing and cursing. Based on Genesis 12:3, and you guys do not want me to discuss the Bible with you. I'll do it in person. I'm not going to do it over the internet. No, that's not happening. I mean, we can. You ain't going to like what I have to say. And you ain't going to believe it. So, just like you don't believe all this shit. So, what's the point? You're too blinded by the lies. I don't know. Too blinded by the fog. A major driver is the belief that the ingathering of Jews in Israel is a prerequisite for the second coming of Jesus. End times. Restorationalism, or rationalism. Movement often rejects replacement theology. There's so many theories. Why? Pick one. Let's get it on. Let's do it. You guys and your string theory of fucking theories. Whoever created string theory is an idiot. And they had no idea what they were talking about. That's literally the foundation of religion, is string theory, everyone. Your string theory shit solved. It's the foundation of what you all do. That's string theory. Ta-da! You've been doing string theory. It's the unlimited amounts of having more theories on top of theories on top of theories, to the point where the foundation doesn't exist anymore. because it's spread through chaos. No. String theory should be the idea of shoot for the moons. Aim for the most impossible thing you can think of. And then figure out how to get there. What does everybody talk about? Let's leave the galaxy. We can't even leave the atmosphere. Let's work on that. Together. Why has it got to be fight? For fuck's sakes. If everybody wants to have their own little planet, how about we all work to that goal and be like, now everybody's got their own planet. Fuck having your own continent. Let's work to that. And then if you want to, I don't know, have your own faith, I guess you got your own planet to, like, rule over. I don't fucking know. However you figure it out. I've known the truth and I've seen the truth. Like what are we actually doing? Like, what is the goal? What does Elon want to go to Mars for? Did he buy Mars? He's not an ancient. Honestly, I don't think Elon's that intelligent. When it comes to critical thinking, he's not intelligent. I've seen reporters outclass his intelligence during live interviews, so make that make sense. He's not as smart as everybody thinks he is, and the way his demeanor is when, like, say how excited he got during the Trump election, he literally acted like a 12-year-old kid. And the fact he went like this, I think it did kind of represent not him being, like, Nazi or anything like that. But to me, why did we, like, as soon as Trump became president, it became, screw America, let's focus on Israel. It really did. Let's just focus on Israel. What has really happened here in the United States other than chaos? It's chaos. And then this shit's from 6 years ago. Oh, they messed up. Too bad. They weren't expecting 3-Eye Atlas to show up. That's the thing. Our government was not expecting 3-Eye Atlas to appear. Because they did their little dumb rituals from ancient times. 3-Eye Atlas showed up. And they were like, oh my god, it's real! And now they're freaking out. And you know what? The rest of the world's freaking out too. And they don't know what's going on. But what's going on? I don't know. Wait a second. What did he ask? Do you know what a Christian Zionist is? And what their religion is? I mean, we just looked it up. What it basically is, it's basically the Old Testament, except for Yeshua doesn't exist, and now it's just strictly Jesus. For real. Okay. Verse New and Old Testament comparison. You guys act like it's so hard to do research. It really isn't. It's literally having the mind concept to think of what you're looking for, really. The Old Testament, Old Covenant. Why is it called Covenant? Are we vampires? I mean, some of y'all are eating people and doing some weird shit. I guess you are vampires. Structure, 39 books. 27 books, so they removed some books. law, holiness, and the promise of a future Messiah. Messiah means God, okay? It's not someone walking around touching God, spreading false narratives and causing profit for themselves, basically. That's deception. That's misuse, which has been going on for a very long time. Misuse of being in touch with Christ. And then the purpose, misguidance of misuse. Like The Simpsons trying to portray Trump as being a messiah. No, he's not. And the fact that The Simpsons knew about it and did it, and then they portrayed it and reenacted it, just shows that it was an act. Okay? It's an act. Because if that's the case, The Simpsons are the fucking messiah. Because they're the prophets. Now, is he claiming to be a prophet? Why is he in the files? The director and creator of this, or not the director, but the creator of The Simpsons, he was in the files. The original creator. The writer. I mean, these people all know each other. They all do business with each other. They all have dinner with each other. This is the club. This is the club that George Carlson talked about all the time. The big club that you're not part of. Okay? None of us are part of this club. Yes. Smite Huckabee. You said Huckabee? It's Huckabee, I guess. I'm going to step away for a second. Let me ask everybody this. Why does Israel, or Jewish faith, why do they think every single time that when they perform the Old Testament and it doesn't work out in their favor, they just rewrite it until, like, it does happen? You're never going to get chosen doing ill-gotten things. Sorry, that's not how it works. You'll never be chosen. And now that the chosen ones have been chosen, they dictate who chooses. Because you have to link with them. And if you don't, I guess you're not going to be around much longer. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how time tells. We'll see what happens in August. Better hit that right frequency, boy. Is there? I don't know. I keep seeing this chosen one crap on my feed. That's not what it said. Like, why does he keep saying that? I just looked it up. We just looked this up. Okay. Shadow versus reality. Law versus grace. A bunch of gangsters are the ones that, like, a bunch of mob members are the ones that funded Israel, including Robert Maxwell. Nobody talks about that. Like, he had something to do with the funding of the original, like, founding of Israel, where it's at right now. And he also tried doing some blackmailing to Israel as well. He was going to expose Israel for something in the late 1980s. He was threatening them with something. I don't know what. I just read it on an article. But he passed away. And then as soon as he passed away, all of a sudden his daughter and Jeffrey Epstein became a thing. Wexner vanished. And then all of a sudden we started seeing major corruption in the United States. Why wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell's U.S. citizenship revoked after after Epstein's actual conviction for the stuff he did in the late 2000s? Why wasn't her citizenship revoked? Because on her citizenship application, it's fraudulent. And her place of residency for the citizenship application is the island's address, the compound to the island. So her citizenship should have been automatically stripped from her right off the rip, and she should have been charged including with him. Why wasn't she? Why is she being protected? She's not a Messiah either. And I don't know who you guys are showing us. She's not a Messiah, dude. She's not a chosen one either. You can't do evil shit. You listen, you can't be a liar. That's all it is. You can't be a liar and be chosen. It's that simple. God doesn't like lies. God doesn't lie. Sorry. Does it matter if we believe that? That's not a faith. That's not a faith. Wait a second. You want to know something funny? What people don't understand is the rebirth and resurrection. They think it's the actual act of sacrificing somebody and them coming back to life. That's not what it means in the Bible. And any of these idiots who think that's what it means, it's not. No, that's actual sacrifice to... I mean, they know. It's in the Old Testament. You sacrifice a false Messiah. And then the Antichrist shows up. Who do you guys think the Antichrist is? Go read the Old Testament, and I really feel like, because Israel's faith used to be the Old Testament, wasn't it? It was. It was to be in Israel. Or not in Israel, it was the Old Testament. Now all of a sudden they're like, well, just, our faith now is this. Why? Because God didn't show up for you. Instead, he showed up for the broken, the true broken, who's been manipulated and abused for almost 250 years. Shit's stupid. It really makes my mind start thinking. if you're not Christian Zionist, I guess it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of being an American. That's not my problem, is it? Well, like I said, why do they get to change their faith every time they perform satanic rituals? Because that's literally what just happened, people. Don't get this shit twisted. Like, if you go read the Old Testament, because that's what they just did, rebuilt their fucking temple and did all that crap, you can say Epstein was the Messiah and they were trying to portray Trump as a Messiah. I mean, with the help of the Simpsons and all this other crap that they control, because they control the whole entire media industry. They do. They control this shit. Nobody's going to see this. They control everything. It's one big fucking joke. Look at Tucker. He's like... What's a Zionist? What's a Zionist? What's a Zionist? A Zionist is a person who supports Zionism. I don't know anyone who's a Zionist. I've never even heard of it. Liberal Zionists support a Jewish state but strongly advocate for a two-state solution. It's none of our business what you guys do in your country. How about that? It's your fucking country. Run it the way you want. We're not involved. What? We're not the enforcers of Israel. Sorry. What does the rest of the world think about this? Like, what is Israel promising to everybody every time something fucking happens like this? Like, why does this happen every 100 years? It just happened. Like, what, 75 years ago? We're dealing with the same shit again. What's going on? Except for I don't know what's really going on in other countries because we're not allowed to see it. I don't know. But I have nothing against anyone. But why is it an America issue? And if you want to say it has something to do with God and religion, I will debate anyone in Israel regarding that. Anyone. Matter of fact, I will debate anyone in the United States currently regarding what real faith and religion is supposed to fucking represent. How about that? And we're not going to sit here and talk about all these different things. No. We're going to take the ground two books of the Old and New Testament, and I'm going to tell you the truth out of both of them and what they actually are. Because they're not what y'all think they are. And this shit's getting stupid. And I think the rest of the world's had enough of it. I don't know. You tell me. It seems like everybody's just, I don't know. What are we actually doing? What are we doing? Just focusing on making new phones and TVs and new computer parts with no actual real advancements other than making entertainment to twist your fucking mind to being controlled? I'm sorry, I'm not controlled. Shit's stupid. I'm not Zionist. I'm not required to be a Zionist. I am me. Okay, it has nothing to do. I'm going to tell you right now, the United States system is over with. We're redoing it, okay? This shit's fucking stupid. It makes no sense. Like, there's so many contradictions to everything that is structured here. The people running it don't even understand it anymore. They don't. And now we're literally being told that basically it's all bullshit. So guess what? Clean slate. We get the reset. It's already in effect though, isn't it? Because everything's being exposed in real time. If you feel the same way, hit me up. Hit me down below or whatever. Message me, whatever. Why don't they ask themselves that? Like, why is Tucker and this guy talking? A right to exist. Do they not think they have a right to exist? Whoever said they didn't? Besides the Romans. We already did this. And who are the Romans? The Italians. Why aren't you fucking talking to the Italians? If they're the Roman heritage history of where this stems from, go get their blessings. Why are you talking to America? This isn't Rome. This isn't France or French or Israel. This is America. And I hate to say it, but when it gets reset, it ain't going to be called America no more. Sorry. Sorry. Because that name was a lie. United States of America. Please give me one time in national United States history of 249 years of when it was actually united. I'll wait. I'll wait. When this country, or better yet, the entire world was ever united. Never. Not a single time. That's called the atom theory. And you know what? All of our religions are based off of the atom theory, which is ancient. They don't talk about that though, do they? Yeah. All religion's been written based off that. And you know what it is? It's the opposite of legion. Man's never once in its recorded written history lived in this fashion. That's the problem. No one knows how to. And you know what? The ones that do, you got too many rich dumbasses like these two right here. I no offense to either one of them, but it looks like two children arguing with each other. It really does. This argument's dumb. They're so scared of God. Do they have a biblical right to what? Does everybody not know what the problem is everybody's just doing what the fuck they want, acting like humans, legion, and no God has been commanding anybody to do anything. That's the thing. Humans can't tell other humans what to do. You're just good at manipulating each other instead of taking command and dishing it all out like.
America, for you. But so every current country on the map has the same right to exist that Israel has. Is that what you're saying? I think
Only God's supposed to make the laws and appoint the kings. And that doesn't mean what you guys think it means. It really doesn't. Like, God, this is getting retarded. This, like, it's not just this country. I don't know why we're talking about Christian Zionism and do they have a right? Oh, by a right by who? We checked to see who did this. Roman Empire doesn't exist anymore. And to be honest with you, they never really ran anything. The Romans never ran shit. The Christians and the Jews were just citizens of the Roman Empire. Because the Babylonians controlled the fucking world back then. Not the Romans. They were just part of another part. The Babylonians were basically the United States back then. It's the truth. And to be honest, from that moment to now, the people that rebuilt the worlds have been all these other nations. It hasn't been the United States. It's only 250 years old. Nobody even understands the Bible. Nobody in the streets in America is doing that. I'm really confused by this conversation. God's chosen his. And if they're acting like they're scared, like they know that people got chosen and it wasn't them. That's the thing. They know this. Let me know down below if you come by this and you think you've seen this chosen one stuff and you feel that maybe you are a chosen one, or you know what I'm even talking about, because it literally just came into my algorithm recently. Just started popping up out of nowhere about being chosen. It was weird. What? How can you believe in both? No, that's a lie. We just looked it up. There's only like 2 or 4 million. We literally just looked that up, so he just lied. He said there's 80 million global presence. Dude, there's not that many people in the United States that are Zionist Christians. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know a single one. Seriously. When did this religion become a thing? There's no Zionist churches around here. There isn't. I have never seen a Zionist Christian church where people gather to worship Zionist Christianity, where they worship both testaments like he's talking about. Because you can't worship both testaments. You know why? The First Testament is literally a freaking ritual to summon God to earth. And then the Second Testament is what happens when it don't work. Hence, that's why Jesus is in both fucking Bibles. Why hasn't anybody realized that? Or said, why did the Second Testament get written? And you know what's really funny? If Zionism is real, and it is a combination of both, why are you still using the name Jesus? That was 2,000 years ago, okay? 2,000 years ago was his time. We're in 2026 now. So why don't you write your new religion into context as to what's it really representing and who? Because the story of Jesus has been rewritten too many freaking times. And you know what? We know the truth already about Jesus, okay? At least the ones that have common sense do. I hope. I hope. Oh, yep. I hope. This is just not a faith that you can combine together because it's not two separate faiths. It's literally history, the Old Testament, and then the New Testament, okay? This is what they wanted to happen. This is what happened. So they were like, damn, God's angry. What do? The whole world freaked out. I don't think it caused a flood back then. It didn't cause a flood then. That makes absolutely no sense about the whole flooding the world in that era. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. The flood happened so much longer ago. There was no recent flood with Noah. Either that or Noah took place. See, and that's the thing. The Bible jumps around so fucking much. They don't tell you like it is. The timeline's all screwed up because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to be like, wow, Noah lived almost 1,000 years, and then as time went by, people started dying like crazy. Their lifespan didn't last very long. It's like people got out of touch with what living really was. Well, I don't know. Sorry. Not sorry, I don't know. I mean, the people that are denying hearing, just listening to the truth, those are the ones I feel sorry for. I can understand not being able to accept it, but totally just ignoring it altogether, I mean, that's total denial. Like, it's not about being right or wrong. It's literally reality. And if the thing is if you don't accept it, you literally have amnesia now. Sorry. Anyone that doesn't accept this new erasure of the system and the shedding of the truth coming out to force it to happen without them controlling the narrative of it happening, like Trump was going to come in and, oh, the system's fucked up, we got to erase it. What are we going to do? Israel seems pretty good. Let's turn into Israel. How about no? Performing the Old Testament rituals is what got y'all in this fucking predicament. That's why the erasure is here. The third coming of God. They weren't expecting that, was they? They weren't expecting it. Nope. No, they wasn't. Not the way it happened. Let's do it. I get tired. Speaking drains me. It's crazy. It's knuckin' futs. I don't know why they need our blessing if they have to exist or not. I don't understand that. You should be asking God for his blessings. And if you don't know how to talk to God, I'm sorry. If you did, you could talk to the chosen ones. If not, you better learn. You better learn how to talk to them. Because anyone that can't, you're screwed. I'll tell you that right now. How are they connected to that historical moment of history? I know more about it than you all do. And how the hell are y'all connected to it? People? Then why don't you guys have any answers? You know what? The Old Testament worked, okay? It's just, it didn't work for their narrative, and they're pissed, and they're scared. That's what it seems like. We're not talking about the Brits. Who? Who said that to the Jews? Wait a second. Are the Brits? Who's the Brits? What's a Brit? What's a Brit? Oh my gosh. I'm so sick of everybody. It seems like everybody's just crying. Like, grow the fuck up. But they said... And I'm not trying to be heartless. I'm just, like, this is ridiculous. It sounds like a little kid who should have a toy at this point. And I'm trying, like, I just can't. The thing is, man, it's so much deceit and lying is going on. How is there a biblical connection for the Brits? Little bitty strip. I really can't handle listening to this guy. He sounds just like Senator Ted Cruz, doesn't he? Do they not understand like what we're going through with Trump? Or is everybody impervious to what the DOJ and everything's going on? Like, what is really going on? What is wrong with this nation? Better yet, what's wrong with the rest of the world? What's wrong with like, what's actually going on?
I don't know enough about it to say if that's true or not. But I'm interested that you yourself yield to international law as a basis of this Israel. But what I'm looking at is the whole of the last 100 years. The Balfour Declaration is not international law. I don't know. It was maybe not law, but it was a declaration. It was
An assumption and a declaration. An assumption means it's a guess, first of all. So is it a guess or a declaration? An assumption means I'm guessing on something that I am unsure of. So what the hell is this guy talking about? And who is he a representative of? Israel? If he's the intellect that Israel has to offer, I don't want it. With his assumptions of a declaration. Lord Balfour? Okay, he's dead. Yeah, I know all about the... Here we go. We're going to look this guy up real quick. Statement, philosopher known for his intellectual detachment. Balfour is a manner. He was a published philosopher, wrote on the theism and humanism. Recent controversy. Historic painting of Balfour at Trinity College, Cambridge, was slashed and spray painted by activists protesting his colonial legacy. What's the Trinity College? Would you like to know the specific declaration? No. Okay, this guy's using... He's using this right here, Lord Balfour, and his creation of Zionism as the grounding support of why this is even a thing. But it says right here, the Balfour Declaration was written primarily as a strategic wartime measure to secure British interests during World War I. The British War Cabinet, led by Prime Minister David Lloyd George, believed that a formal show of support of Zionism would provide several key advantages. So in other words, this religion of Zionism was created to help promote war, to get people into the war. Hey, come support us. We're Zionists. And this is his background off of it? It says... Allies in neutral countries, particularly in the United States and Russia, at the time, Britain mistakenly believed that Jewish communities held immense global influence, and they didn't. To remain or become. So British basically wrote this as a manipulation wartime tactic in order to trick Americans and everyone else at the time into fighting a war for them. And this is why Britain basically lost World War I. And it is the way it is. Because they manipulated the system back then too. Didn't they? Does every country get to pick when they get to try to do the Old Testament or something? Like, what's going on? Britain fucked up, so this was their rewriting of the Old Testament. King James was the King James the Third rewritten of King Arthur, because King Arthur got turned into myth. His age was way too fucking long for anyone to be like, hey, something's not right. This man lived too long and everyone else didn't. Why? Oh. And then that's when religion became a thing again, because you know what? Everyone forgot about it. Everyone stopped doing it, and then Arthur came along and he proved that it could be obtained. Drink from the chalice. It's not a fairy tale, people. They actually found his body. Like, legit, look at it. See? They did find his body. They found his tomb. And then a little after that, his body vanished. According to the legend of historical accounts, King Arthur's final resting place is family linked to Glastonbury Abbey in Somerset, England. The 1191 discovery, see? Yes, they found King Arthur's body in 1191, shortly after the story of Noah. Because this is right after Noah's time. It's a couple hundred years after Noah's passing in 1191. And who knows? Maybe Arthur goes back further than that. Like I said, our Bible's timeline makes no sense. And the way it's written really doesn't make any sense. It teaches you death. Henry 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you can go look at this shit and everything. Let's look at the images. Yeah, here it is. They actually had his body at one point, but somebody stole it. His body came up missing, just like Jesus's. Yeah, it's funny how everything comes up missing. Rocket plans came up missing. Jesus comes up missing. Arthur comes up missing. Mythology comes up missing. Alexandria's library comes up. Like, all the important shit just gets missing. And then they want to pretend and act stupid. It's dumb. So, this land was under the British Mandate. He never said that. We just looked it up. We literally just looked up why this even became a thing. This was not a religion, okay? This was a war tactic that was created by the British to trick people that they thought were Jews or Jewish people at the time around the world to come join in World War I. It says it right here. And then it says, wanted a friendly population in Palestine to act as a buffer. This would protect blah, 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 which was a vital land bridge to Britain's colonial possession in India. Because Britain was going around trying to take over the world back in the day, people. Hence, that's why we came here to America and discovered a new land. Like, come on. Britain was the original people that were like Nazis. Come on. Everybody gets to take their turn being, I guess, well, what is a Nazi? I don't even know what a Nazi is. I don't know what that means. Is that an era, a time? Or is it just linked to Germany and Hitler? I don't really get it. Like, it seems like everybody gets to take their turn trying to do the Old Testament, and if it don't work, they just add another religion to society. That's what it seems like to me. It really, truly does. Nope, we didn't get it. Let's do this. But they're bringing up saying, hey, we need this now. No, hell no. It's 2026. We know why this was created in 1917. Was written primarily as a strategic wartime measure. It's not a faith. It's not a religion. It's not a way of being. And it's not a declaration. It's literally a manipulated scroll tactic by this damn man to try to trick Jewish people into a war that they had nothing to do with. Sounds like the gathering of the Jews. Again, that's what Zionism was created for, was to gather the Jews to fight in World War I. It's right here. I'm not making this shit up. It's in your system. So everything he's saying is horseshit. The land was theirs 3,800 years ago? Where's the proof of that? 3,800 years ago? The Bible's not even that old. Religion's not even that old. Religion was depicted by actual classes, like empires. There wasn't really a faith. You believed in whatever your empire's faith was, or guess what? You were executed. Just like it is around the rest of the world still. Jesus Christ. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. It says right here, there was no Jews there was no Jewish people in Palestine or Israel when they did this. It says it right here. And then now it makes even more sense, because it seems like Britain, why does it seem like Europe is the main source? Why does it seem like that all of a sudden? This is something they've been doing since the 1700s, it seems like. This seems like they've been doing this since Arthur. Who else thinks that? I truly believe this now. This is really weird. Now that I look at this, I know what's on my mind. It seems like the root of the problem has been Britain trying to force this narrative for a very long time, ever since Arthur's times, since the Dark Ages, when Europe... Why does it seem like it's Europe? Says successfully framing Zionist goals as being perfect alignment with British imperial interests. Okay, I'll tell you something right now. America's not Britain. Why is he talking to us regarding something that Britain created under the false pretext and manipulation, mind you, of trying to get people to fight in a war that they were losing, that they lost? Because Britain lost World War I, didn't they? That's why they're shit now. Because all this didn't work. Oh my gosh, this world's stupid. This is what the world's been doing. Everybody wants answers. Well, better put your boots on. Better suit up. The whole, you know what's funny about this whole chosen one thing too as well? I don't even know if I can finish watching this. This guy, I just caught him lying. Is the Israel the Bible? I just proved why Zionist was created. Like Zionism, it was used as a war tactic method. Like, so we can pretty much say that shouldn't be a real faith because it was literally used to manipulate the Jewish culture. So for them to say, yeah, we got manipulated into war and this is what we are. What is wrong with your nation? You can't use something that was used in deceit. Sorry. For the truth shall set you free. We're not playing these stupid games no more. What do you not... If you're not aware of something, you shouldn't have the job... I don't care about any of this, because it's all a lie. Wait. I believe in the same thing that Tucker just said. I'm not Christian, but I do believe in universal principles. There should be a yes and a no. You got an opinion? Keep it to yourself. There's a right way and a wrong way. There is no, well, maybe it's this way or that way. Why is this even a topic? There's so much other more important shit going on right now, especially in our own country. Not the question of, well, is Israel allowed to have this land? It seems like the only ones that don't believe that they should have the land is Israel, doesn't it? Is anyone else saying that they shouldn't? I don't understand this. Don't they live there? Like, isn't everything cool? Like, what? Who bothers them? Does anyone? We don't. Last I heard, we give them shit tons of assistance and support. So what's going on? When has this ever been a question until now? Why is it? I'll tell you here right now, I don't know a single person who talks about Jewish people. I don't know anyone who talks about Israel. Take the Jewish person out of the aspect and just Israel as itself. I don't know anyone personally in the United States who talks or has any opinion regarding Israel. Personally, I don't know anyone. If you ask them, they're like, I don't care. It's not my problem. Because it's not. It's not our problem. But the thing is what is their problem? I don't understand what their problem to themselves are, because it's almost like they're trying to convince all of us that they should exist. Why do they question their own existence? What kind of laugh was that? What's so funny to him about that? Why did he laugh about Stonehenge? He knows something about Stonehenge. You see this? Unless he thinks he does. That's really creepy. You bring up one of the wonders of the world, and he starts just creepily laughing like that. How do you prove that? Does it really matter? Who made these laws? Like who? Like people just come up with shit out of their ass here. Of the living God. Then you guys understand the Bible. I do. I accept the Trinity and the Unity fully. Abraham's not God. Sorry. Abraham was literally a nobody. He was just a follower of Jesus. The thing is all the stories in the Bible, I will debate anybody with Revelations and Genesis and prove you what the meaning of the Bible is and why it's written ass backwards. How about that? Anybody want to know the real truth? Because you know what everyone's obsessed with? The elixir of life. If you weren't, then why you keep resetting the damn Bible? Why do we keep having resets? Everyone else has accepted the way the world is. The only ones that haven't is Israel. They're pissed. Seems like that. I don't know. This is stupid. Like, we're lied so much. And then we got this old ass man. Because, yes, he's old. And he's acting so immature. Like I said, I don't have nothing against anybody, but if you gotta sit there and act like this to try to prove who you are, it sounds like you don't believe in yourself. So should you exist? I believe who I am. I am. Right? Come debate me. we'll just do the story of Adam and Eve. We don't even have to talk about the rest. I'll tell you what all of it means. Any biblical scholar, bring it. I challenge anybody. Even in anywhere, I don't care. I come with truth. Not twisted ideas because I want to get something out of it. What? It would be fine if they took what all? You're not entitled to take it over. I don't know why these people think they're gonna take over the planet. Didn't they do this last time and like fuck everything up, and then all the gods abandoned everybody and the earth was cursed? Isn't that what happened? I think that is what happened, and everyone's been living in deceit since then. They won't tell you what Earth used to be called. I don't know why we still call it Earth. It should be called hell. Because what we're doing is hell. It really is. It's a literal description of hell. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Except for it's not reincarnation. It's just repeat, repeat, repeat. And each generation gets dumber. And if you don't believe me, I mean, just look at technology. Look at our structures. Gaza's gone. I saw a picture of Gaza, unless that was CGI or AI. And if it is AI, and if AI is twisting our truth so much to that aspect, we need to get rid of AI completely. Because I can already prove to you guys how flawed this AI system is. I do it all the time. I break this damn system. It sucks. It's flawed. It's for literally obtaining information, not computing data. Sorry. It's not accurate. And the Epstein files expose how inaccurate it is. And so does the FBI case that Trump's suing the not FBI, but the IRS case where Trump's suing the IRS for $80 billion. Because that all happened under Little John doing algorithmic data for the company that handles all the tax returns. Because the amount of shit that got leaked can't actually physically get up and walk away now, can it? Looks like we're going back to a physical way of life unless you want to do this reset. Let go of the reins because you're not taking over no more. Because you don't know what the fuck you're doing anyway. You're not smart enough. And playing with drugs isn't going to get you there. Sorry. Now they're trying to tell people, hey, do drugs. Become a drug addict. Embrace your addiction. We're like one of the only countries that still has pornographic material being pushed. Like, what the hell is going on? You created a whole nation full of perverts. And then it started spreading around the world. And where did it stem from? Europe. Yep. Why is this a question? Alright, I've had enough of this crap. This guy's a joke. I already proved he was lying. So I don't have time. I don't have time for fucking liars. I'm sorry. That guy is a complete liar. We proved he was a liar with this, with Zionism, because we know why it was created. It was created as a war tactic to force Jewish people into saying, hey, come fight for Britain. Well, guess what? Britain lost. And considering what Europe and Britain's been doing, fuck Britain and their royal family and perverts. No. Hell no. We're not Britain, dude. Sorry. We're not perverts. I'm not. Not like that. I sure as hell ain't like that. That's fucked up. Not sure as hell ain't no pedophile. Like, what? What? That is sick. Are you serious? You know, one of the original commandments was, those who do good for their children will be blessed by God. That means take care of your offspring and care for the other ones as you would your own. Not a specific one, just children in general. Guide them to the light. And let them face the darkness alone so that they can become pure in the light. Gosh, go look at the story of Hercules. Go look at all the ancient mythologies. It's written in the text of how to build a man's character. That shit doesn't exist anymore. No, instead you're born into life and society saying, hey, go to fucking work. Hey, do this for 9 years. Work for 40 years. You can retire at 65, and guess what? You're dead. Nothing happened. Same old, same old. Like, how long has man been stuck? 2,000 years? And the best thing that everybody created was delusion. Wow. 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 And everyone lies. Everyone lies. You can't lie to me. I know the truth. But anyways, I gotta get off this. This is nerve-wracking because it's just... The guy lied one time, and he tried using this guy here as a piggyback as to what Zionism was and Zionist Christianity. We just looked what he was and why he did it. He literally used it against the Jewish people to trick them into fighting in World War I. Particularly the ones that lived in Russia and the ones that lived in America. Hey, we'll give you your own country if you come fight for us. What the hell? Is that what the negotiations were? What's going on? God has chosen his people. And I'll tell you what, the people who are in frequency with it, you're probably shitting a brick right now. And you don't know what to do. You better go get in touch with yourself and with the Lord. And figure out what the Lord actually is. Or go talk to someone who you think might know something. I don't know. But this whole thing of let's follow drug addicts while they lead us on a mission to an empty dollar is over with. I'm sorry. Night's over. You're closed. You're going to see all these false prophets fade away and wither. Because if you're not part of God's world, you don't exist no more. Sorry. We'll see you next time on How About Now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry we got a little sporadic. I didn't mean to. Wasn't trying to. It's just, there's just so much deception going on and I can't stand it. It's crazy. It's just too much. You guys let me know down below if you feel the same way. Maybe you feel differently. I know everybody's feeling angry. I'm not telling anybody to go do anything violently. I don't believe in that shit. We should be working together for an ultimate goal, not performing rituals. You know? You guys let me know. I don't think we should be doing these rituals anymore. And I'll tell you this right now. You guys saw 3-Eye Atlas, right? Everybody saw it. The ritual worked. So what's the problem? Why is everybody scared? Why is everybody scared? Everything's happening the same way it happened in the Old Testament. Just go read it. Why are you so scared? You got your wish. You got your wish. Look at that. Man got his wish. All right. I'll see you guys later. Catch you on the next one. Until then, thanks for dropping by. Give us a like, give us a follow if you like. Like I said, this is a free channel. We don't take sides. We just talk about how it really is. That's it. That's what we do. But yeah, this is a non-profit video. Thanks, Tucker. I didn't get his permission to use his video. If you guys want to check out Tucker Carlson's video, I did use some of his footage, and apologize for not asking first, but I wanted to see a little bit of what that was about and touch a little bit bases with everybody, and I don't know, gives a slight opinion, biased opinion, both sides. To be honest with you, I don't think Tucker should be the one interviewing people. Like, what kind of questions? Like, people just... Everybody's just very immature, it seems like, to me. Like, there's no adults in the room anymore. I don't know. I think everybody's been living in a facade so long, and now everyone's just scared of recognizing what the truth really is. It's crazy to me. It's spreading, though. I can feel it. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you on the next one. Like, share, and subscribe if you like. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you agree with me, what you got out of this. I couldn't finish it. I don't like liars. And I can't stand people who create chaos. Chaos, oh gosh, I can't stand chaos. It makes my mind just... It does. It's almost like a static vacuum that I hear in my mind when I start hearing people distract from the truth being revealed. I know when someone's trying to lie or getting ready to lie. I just feel it. And I go with it now. So, no. I'm more in tune with my body now. So, it is what it is. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you on the next one. Yes. You never met a motherfucker.